Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday call. Today, we're going to talk about the Secret Genie and about unlocking the secret because, as most of us know, we've got a genie that will grant us every wish that we want. We just have to unlock it. We have to know about it. If we don't know about it, and if we don't know how to do it, we won't be able to do it. But we all have it, and that's what we're going to learn today, how to unlock it. So does anyone want to share a win? I just heard Joanne saying that her thinking is so different now that she allows herself. What was that you were saying, Joanne? Because that definitely is a win.
Hi, sorry, yeah. I was just saying that previous years I've not really, this year I've had a lot of holidays, but normally I would have been like, oh, I can't afford it, or I haven't got the time, or I felt guilty about it, and always put off doing what I wanted to do. And this year I just made a conscious decision. I'm going to have holidays, and I've had 4 or 5.
Wow, what a shift.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's just the beginning. You know, it doesn't matter where we are right now. That's just the beginning. That's awesome. What a different lifestyle you've got now. And just the thinking, when you think differently, you just feel so empowered of allowing yourself that you can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the power of making a decision. When you make a decision, so when you make a decision, something in your brain flips into a different frequency. And because you're on a different frequency, new thoughts come to you of how it can be done. And also the law of attraction shows you that it can be done. Actually, that's perfect for today's lesson, the Secret Genie. That's exactly what we're going to talk about. Okay, so anybody else who wants to share a win? I've got a win here from AC. Since 2 a.m. her time, she sent it to me via WhatsApp. So as most of you know, not everybody, but she, just a few weeks into TIR, she attracted the guy of her life, even though she's been in a limbo state for so long. And she's so happy with this guy. And now she has another win, which is an awesome win. Awesome win. Oops, wait, there is an echo. Could you please all mute yourselves? Let me check if I can mute you. I'll mute you guys, okay? So you have to unmute yourselves when you talk. So let's listen to AC's win.
Hi, everyone.
I'll make it a little bit louder.
Hi, everyone. Hello from California.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, perfect.
It's a bummer that I can barely make the calls every time we have our Q&A and lessons with Hildy. It's just the wee hours of my night. So, yep. But I do enjoy watching the YouTube videos every after this call. Anyway, I would love to share with you one of my amazing wins the past week, and I'm just so high and happy about it. As I kept on sharing the past month, I really love my job and I love money. Again, it is the intersection of business, impact, and technology. Using technology in answering global grand challenges through abundance mindset. Anyway, I hit a very bad terror barrier May and June. It's like my boss brought me and placed me to this amazing team and they're really good. To give you context, my co-workers are like authors of book. It's like Wall Street Journal top picks book. Some of them are even astronauts. Like founder of TED Talks is like they're freaking amazing people. And there I was like, What can I offer? It's like it's so impossible for me to even offer something. It's like I kept on telling him, my vice president, you place me to a team where people are running 100 miles per hour and I'm running 5 miles per hour. They're in their 100th mile. I'm in my 0.05 mile. Imagine how bad my self-image was. But yes, August 18 happened. August 18 happened, I told myself, fuck this. This is bullshit for me to have a very, very bad self-image. I know I can run in full throttle too. So I just believed and worked my way and just literally put my heart and soul in doing what I'm doing and be good at it. Always better from yesterday. So from August 18 to October, oh my goodness, it was amazing. October 5 happened. My boss randomly called me and said, AC, we're very, very happy with your performance. And I want you to know that we are giving you an increase of 13%. This is not happening in the company, but we want you to know that you're appreciated. And by the way, my review is not until first week of November. So I got an increase randomly on a Thursday morning, and they said that I'm on my way to be a director. So it's either I am a director for supply chain, a director for digital products, or innovation, or operations. Not only am I being a director from a position that I thought I would just be a senior manager, I have paths to choose from. How awesome is that? And so yes, they just said to continue what I'm doing, and I'm on my way to greatness, and that they truly believe in me, and that I'm vital to the growth of the company. So yes, from someone who was running 5 miles per hour, I'm running 150 miles per hour, and with lovingly enjoying and just crazily embracing the journey, and I'm loving it and enjoying it. And yep, I hope you're gonna feel my energy. So yes, that's such a win. That's all. And thank you guys for all the awesome sharings in our group, and I truly appreciate that. That's all. Have a wonderful day, and I'm here for you.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, you guys need to know. So she made that decision in August, and because she flipped her self-image from a self-image where she didn't even know if she could become senior manager to getting a director position, she skipped the senior manager without her even believing she could become senior manager. And just by the shift of her self-image, she got that director thing. And she so her year review was supposed to be November, but even before November, which was October, she was told that she'll get that raise of 13%. And usually in their company, they only get 3 to 5% raise. And in November, she will have another review. And to top it all, she's only 28 and will be by far the youngest director there. So isn't that amazing? Just like from changing the self-image. So definitely a huge win. All right, so let's go to the questions. So Roberto sent us a question. He said, in lesson 3, Bob tells to write down results you want 100 times in the morning and 100 times in the evening. How are you guys doing that? It costs a lot of time, and that is okay. But if you have to work all day, then it is difficult to find time for it. Now, before I answer that question, I would love for Bernie to tell us a story about what he did, because, oh my God, our group is so in sync. It is incredible, because Banny just messaged me, I think 2 or 3 days ago, something that he did. And yeah, Banny, could you tell us a story that is a part of the answer for this question?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
It's a little bit, can you talk a little bit louder?
Hold on, now better?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, hold on, I will try to put up the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better now?
Yes, a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, the question 100 times every day affirmation. So what I did, I wrote one affirmation in the last 37 days. 30,090 times, so over 30,000 times, which is in general about 800 times every day. So how come that I did this? I struggled on different occasions with writing affirmations and tested this or exercise several times before, and it never worked out. Actually, there are so many stories how I came up with a specific affirmation. So the bottom line is that for some reason I found, first of all, a short affirmation that really was suitable for me, that felt good, that probably wasn't out there or way up there. It was like a tangible affirmation, but it was still something that I've never done before. Very suitable affirmation. It was a short one, and then I just started writing it. The first day I wrote it like 600 or 700 times, and then I decided, okay, I want to try to write it 10,000 times in 10 days. It took me 11 days. Yeah, and I will tell you, when I'm in London, it takes too much time to tell all the stories that happen. But I can tell you all, it's just amazing what happened in the last month. It was probably the best month of my life. And by the way, I also received a bonus payment just like AC, and it was also on a Thursday morning. So this is fun as well. So yeah, writing affirmations. As Angelique also already wrote yesterday in the chat, I really became aware of when I wrote it like intellectually without the feeling, and then I really became aware of, okay, now I'm writing it with the feeling. I'm feeling it and I feel good. And as soon as I recognized, okay, I'm not concentrated, I'm not focused, or I'm feeling not as good, then I did something else. I stopped writing it immediately and, for example, read some pages or listened to something that I felt better, and then I started over writing them again. Yeah, and the specific question, how did I do it with like working all day? I don't know. It took me like between 2 and 3 hours every day, I would say. And the most part I did in the evening. So I was writing until 1 a.m. or something, or sometimes until 2 a.m. But I did it every day and every night.
Oh, wow.
Most of the times I started in the morning with like 102, and then in the during lunch, and then the most of all the affirmations in the evening.
Cool. So definitely what I can say is that it's so worth it, especially with today's lesson tied into what you just said. And Roberta, you have to understand that, you know, creating is getting into the vibration of something, and writing with feeling gets you there. So if you say something like, I don't have time to do the work that I need to do to get into the vibration, if it's either writing it down or doing meditation, it's as if you're saying, oh, I gotta go get somewhere. So, but I don't have time to look for the keys and find the keys to my car, so I'm just going to walk. It just makes so much more sense to put the time into finding the keys and go with your car, right? Especially if it's far, far, far away. And I'm not sure who was on the call when I told the story about this hairdresser who had a burning desire. It's so important to have a burning desire, because without a burning desire, you're not going to do this. She had a burning desire to change her life and that of her families. And from being a hairdresser, she now owns a Ferrari and a gorgeous home. So what she did, by the way, I didn't mention this, so it's great to mention it now as it's appropriate. while she was cutting people's hair and stuff. So every time she had this notebook where she would write her affirmations. And every time she would pass by that place where she had her notebook in her office or salon, she would write down her affirmations. So more or less the whole day she was thinking about this affirmation. So that's how she got there. Because as Kevin also says, it's about the power and the intensity and the duration of the broadcast that you're broadcasting into the universe. So the more you write it, and again with feelings, as Bernie said, this is so important. With feelings, you got to feel the feeling as if you've already accomplished it, as if you're already there. So that's what will get you. Yeah, that will get you there. And you know what? One time I heard Bob at the live event say that somebody called him saying, "Oh my God, it's a catastrophe. I've got a problem right now that's so huge." And Bob said, "Oh, I just told him to write down the affirmation 1,000 times over 7 days and he'll be fine." Sometimes like our brain, our paradigm is saying like, how can that be? Really? Is it that easy? But we really have to do it. So congratulations, Bernie. So when I read your message, your WhatsApp message, there's like 90,000 plus times in 37 days. Like, are you freaking kidding me? So see what's possible. I didn't even know that was possible. 800 plus times a day. All right.
No.
So Roberto, did that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
Thanks.
Perfect. So have fun writing. Use a blue pen. And as I said before, best is like, for example, if you start with 100 and then 99, 98, 97. So it gives you this feeling that you're getting closer and closer. Yeah. Okay.
Well, first I go buy some pencils, but okay, cool.
Yeah. Benny, can you please post on our WhatsApp group how many pens you have finished writing? Because he sent me that picture too.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Okay, perfect. Look at this drawing. I don't know who of you drew this drawing, but thank you. This used to be my initials, WH. Okay. So my question for tomorrow is how to develop patience. I understand that to change the old paradigms takes time, but I find myself getting impatient as the desired paradigm result just doesn't seem to emerge as quickly as I expected. So anything I can do to change that, please. Okay, so patience. First of all, when you feel that you're not having patience, that you're being impatient, that's already an indication that right now at this moment, being impatient, you are vibrating a frequency that keeps it away from you. So the paradox is the more you are okay with where you are right now, that's what make what you want come faster. You want me to repeat it? I'll just repeat that. The more you are okay with where you are right now, not needing things to change and just say, it is okay where I am right now. If you really get that feeling that it's okay, the faster what you want will come, because that's when you're not, because resistance is the only thing that's holding you away from what you want, because when you ask, it is given right away. But your resistance, the only thing that's holding it apart. So you got to be okay of where you are right now. That's the faster it'll come. So since we think in pictures, I thought I will answer it with this. Oh, yeah, you can't speak, unfortunately. But if you planted a seed into the soil and it grew a little bit, so let's just say this is a habit or this is a thought habit, okay? It's a pretty new one. When you try to get this out of the soil, it's pretty easy, right? You can do it with just one hand and then it's gone, right? But if you fail to remove thoughts that are negative, that are creating what you do not want, it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. So TIR definitely works. That is so proven. It's just that the amount of time that we need individually has to do something with how much we put into it and the correct way we put into it. So how much time we put into it is really up to you. How we can understand it and how to use it also depends on how you ask questions so that I get them answered. And even if I don't know the answer, I have somebody I can ask. So just shoot away and send me questions. And also, the third one is, how deep are your roots, right? So if that kind of thinking that is negative, the kind of thinking that is opposite to what you want has been going on for years and years and years, then this is probably how it looks like. So try to pull that out of the ground, right? I hope you guys can see the picture properly. So this is just so that you can see the difference. And it's about the neural pathways, okay, in our minds, in our brains. So they connect in the brain. The more often we think a thought, the stronger they become, this connection, and the thicker they become. So let's just say you kept on thinking a thought over and over and over again. Let's just say somebody said to you, this is all you can do. Let's just say you got a C in history, and you had an emotional impact because someone that had authority in your eyes, like a teacher, said, this is all you are, a C in history. Okay, so you've been believing that for so long. So there is a connection in your brain that when somebody, like for example, you're now an adult and you're talking to other people, and you guys all of a sudden talk about history, automatically the wires of the thoughts you've got of history, your self-image of your history knowledge will fire up, because those are the ones that are connected. So you will be sitting there in a conversation with these adults, believing in your subconscious mind, sometimes conscious, but mostly subconscious, that all you are is a C and you don't know as much as those who had an A. So what we got to do is change the thinking. We choose a thought and repeat it until those thoughts become so much stronger and they dominate it, and the other one falls away because out of lack of nourishment. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, so Angelique has a question. So Kevin Trudeau says we should focus on what we believe now or to a high level. How does that sync with TIR and thinking from the end result? Is there something I am missing? Okay, so the thing is here, Angelique, your wish is your command of Kevin Trudeau is the basic lessons. So since he does not give a system like we do from lesson 1 to 12 with TIR, when Bob talks about choose a C-type goal, which is big, that you do not know how to get there, he is assuming that you will do the rest of the lessons and that you will do it properly, right? So Kevin only talks about the basics and he doesn't give you a system. So that's the reason why he said, because we create what we believe in a subconscious mind. Angelique, can you speak? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. So now I'm connecting the dots.
Okay.
Because I was listening to Kevin and I was like, well, probably I don't believe I'm a team elite yet, so maybe I should just go for like lapis or something. I'm thinking, but that's not my type C goal. That doesn't excite me. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ask this question.
It's great that you asked questions. So the most important thing is, wait, can you unmute yourself? Can you mute yourself, please, because I hear echo? Thanks. So the most important part really is that you feel good now and feel better. So the more you know about Bob and Kevin, and you put them together, because they're all saying the same things, but from a different angle. And the more you study it, the more you analyze it, the more you talk to us about it, the more you'll understand it. So what I do, for example, when I'm in a quote unquote bad place, I just go general, as Abraham would say it, and I just write down the things that already I believe in, okay? And when that gets me fired up, for example, writing down, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, this has changed, and you know, and I'm solid in my belief up to that level, then, and I'm in a good vibration, then I can go back to thinking about my C-type goal and feel good about it. So the only thing you really need to remember is that whatever it is you're feeling right now, just try to feel a little better where you are. Yeah?
Yeah. Got it.
You know
Thank
how to
you.
do that.
You know
I
how
know
to do
you.
that. I know you.
Great. Thanks. Okay. So AC asks, what's your simplest and yet impactful wealth magnet tactic? There are lots of them, but from what I have experienced that I have a story of, the simplest yet impactful was this. I smelled money because somebody told me to do that. So what I did was I got a 500 euro note or bill, I think you say in English, and then I smelled it, and then I felt good smelling it, and I said, I am at one with a tremendous amount of money. And I just did it as a game because someone said that I should do it. I wanted to know what it does, right? So about a week or maximum 2 weeks of doing that, because there was a change in my circumstance, I called up where I was insured, health insurance. And this guy said, you know what? I just noticed you've been paying too much. And I was like, really? You're cool. And then he goes like, yeah, I'm going to send you what you've paid too much and onto the same account that we've been, getting it from. I said, okay, cool, And I was expecting 500 euros and I got back 8,000. So I was like, oh shit, this shit works, right? And the funny thing is I've only done it once. I've never done it again. I don't know why. Probably because I just look for other experiences of how to do things, but maybe I should start doing that again because it just excites me thinking about it now. So yeah, just smell money and feel good about it and say, I am at one with a tremendous amount of money. But then again, I didn't just do it once a day. Like I was doing it constantly, right? And I was laughing doing it because I thought it was the silliest thing in the world to do. Okay, so the thoughts we think are responsible for the results we are getting. And I know that everyone on this call believes that, or else you wouldn't be on this call. So this is just a reminder. It's about our thoughts. And look at this picture. Just really look at it, because instead of me talking about it, they say that pictures paint 1,000 words. So this is really what's happening. Come away from the window. You don't want to be a child left behind, do you? And the child is saying, sounds good to me, looking out of the window. But then we're forced, right, to conform. It's just a very powerful picture, I find. So just work with it and see how it feels to you. Okay, so the Secret Genie, you will learn in this lesson how to gain control over the thoughts you think, how the law of attraction works to help you achieve any goal you want, and a repeatable formula that can be used to change any result you are unhappy with. Bob says that this graphic illustration of the mind we refer to as a stick person is without question the most valuable idea I have gained in close to 50 years of intensive research into the workings of the mind. And he still says that today. It's more than 50 years now. And he talks about how all the directors of big, huge companies say that this is their favorite part as well. This is the single one idea that has changed the bottom line of their financial statement or anything in life drastically, because we think in pictures. It is so important that we understand what the mind is. A lot of people try to change their minds not having a picture, and that's why it takes them a lifetime and they still don't get to change their thinking because they do not have a picture of the mind. I personally draw this stick picture, this stick figure every day and teach it to myself. And Angelique, you were talking about, how Bob can explain other teachers easily. I found that if, for example, if I took Abraham quotes or Abraham teaching something, or Neville, for example, and I just read what he's saying, I don't get it. But when I put the stick figure into the play and again read it with the stick figure in mind, I totally get it. So try that. This stick person is so valuable. It looks so, I don't know, it looks like a 5-year-old can draw it, but it is so, so, so powerful. I don't know how to explain it to you in just words. You gotta feel it for yourselves. You gotta experience it for yourselves. Try drawing it every day and talking to yourself about it. And whenever you read something, draw the stick person and write down how that thing that you just read applies to the stick person. And I promise you, you are going to be blown away, after a while. Okay, so Mariam asked me, Mariam, you can speak, right? Let's see where she is. There she is. Mariam, are you there? Anyway, I'll just read this out first, because she asked me something about she would like to have a review of the questions or of the previous lesson. And so I'm asking all of you, let me always know what it is that I can improve so that you can do TIR better than you've been doing it so far. So, okay, so in lesson 3, you rewrote in great detail all of the non-productive activities you identified in the first exercise in lesson 2. And you also rewrote, well, that is if you did it, of course, all of the NPAs you identified in the second exercise in lesson 2. Then you wrote a detailed description of the results that you do want. So ask yourself individually, did you really do it? Because this is what will change your focus into what you want, right? But it's not enough that we read it. We really have to do what it says. So you rewrote in as much detail as possible all the PAs, the productive activities, you identified to replace the non-productive activities. Then you burned or shredded the 2 sheets of paper with the unwanted results and the non-productive activities. So Mariam, can you speak now? Are you there? She probably can't speak, but anyway, I'll ask her if that's the way she wanted me to do it. And I thought maybe she would have questions about it, because she wanted to know how she can know if she's answering the questions correctly or not. So I would have to speak to her for that. So you guys, if you have a question along those lines as well, let me know, okay? But what I can also say is that depending on where you are right now, that will also determine of how you answer these questions. Because Angelique, can you speak for a little while?
Yeah.
I think you've mentioned to me before that the way you answer questions now is way different from how you used to answer them, right?
Yeah. I like for instance, like the way that I answered the question about patience. Because I've watched so many things and I've attended several live streaming seminars, and I'm a bit obsessed about studying, of course. I sort of it's like your mind just associates different concepts, and then you suddenly you understand that the question about patience is not about patience. It's about something completely different. And in the beginning, when you're just studying it, you're just trying to grasp each concept or each subject one by one, and through repetition and through basically learning more and more, and attending, for instance, these Q&As and having all these WhatsApp chats, you start to integrate everything, and you get a really broad understanding of how you can answer a question. So you get actually a deeper and richer understanding of what a subject. So, for instance, I cannot answer the question about patience without talking about the mental faculties or talking about faith. And they're all these different lessons, right? And that, I think, is the benefit of, maybe doing TIR more than once, or just really just knowing that you don't know what you don't know right now. When you get further, you're going to know a little bit more. It's like what Kevin Trudeau says, just the dashboard. We keep looking at the what is it? I don't know what he calls it, the dashboard or something else. But we just think, oh, this is what I know, but actually there's so much we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For example, when you talk about the heart radiating, like, I don't know, I think they said 5 miles or whatever, but that's only how the instrument can measure it, but it does not mean that it doesn't extend beyond that, right? And I think I can vaguely remember something you saying at the beginning. You would answer the questions more or less just saying yes or no, and then now you could like write essays on each.
Completely.
Yes. Yes. So it's really just about, where you are is where you are. Enjoy it, study, just keep going, and then it'll blow your mind of how much you already know. But a lot of the times you don't even know that you've changed so much, because it's just, you gradually got into that. So I said in the WhatsApp group that Katya, who did TIR with us for 6 months, she messaged me the other day saying, oh my God, I'm at the management training and I'm literally bored. I'm just so bored. And I'm light years. That's what she said. I'm light years away from, knowing so much more than what they do. And that was the time when she realized that, wow, I've really grown. And she didn't realize it because she didn't have anything to compare at the time. She just knew what she knew, but she didn't know what, so just have fun with it. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So let it go. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. So this is extremely important. Just like with the tree, do not try to do anything with the old tree that has deep roots, because if you focus on that tree, you're focused on that tree. Just go ahead and beside it, plant a totally different seed, whatever it is that you want. Oh, by the way, Annie, one more thing about seeds, right? So let's just compare the seed to an idea, just so that you know that I'm comparing it to an idea that you've planted in your subconscious mind. When you plant a seed onto the soil, you don't go there the next day and say, oh my God, where are you? Like, where's my tree? So, and the thing is, if you dig it up to try to see if something's happening, you're not allowing it to grow. So all you got to do is plant that seed, keep on studying so that you understand how the laws of the universe work. And then as you understand how the laws of the universe work, your faith just becomes stronger and stronger that it will come, because you are as sure as, when you planted that apple seed into the ground, an apple tree is coming out, not an orange tree. You just know it. And Kevin talks about how, it's not about him being so good at guessing what's coming in the future. He's creating the future. He just knows. So we just got to plant new seeds into the ground or into our subconscious mind. Okay, so Earl Nightingale said, your world is a living expression of how you are using and have used your mind. I love knowing this, because I can look at any person, because we all operate under the same laws, all of us. So just look at any person and know exactly what they're thinking. Even their bodies, when you see somebody who's overweight, you just know what their self-image is, right? So you can read them. They say that, nobody can read my thoughts. Well, that's not true, because the results that you get in all areas comes from the thoughts that you're thinking. So your world is a living expression of how you are using and have used your mind. Okay, this is something that is extremely important to remember all the time. There's an infinite power flowing to and through you. Now, I'm not going to explain why this is important. I want you to figure it out for yourselves. When you are doing the thinking into results lessons, always keep this in mind. There's an infinite power flowing to and through you. Always keep that in mind. It will reveal secrets to you. Okay, so understanding your marvelous mind. Let's talk about the mind. Lesson 4. The mind is represented here like a circle. The upper half being the conscious mind and the lower half being the subconscious mind. And here we see another circle with the body. And the reason why the body is so much smaller on this graphic than the mind is because the mind completely controls the body. The body cannot do anything that the mind does not control. So let's dig deeper into it. The law of cause and effect, which is Angelique's one of her most favorite laws, what you put out is what you get back, is another way of saying it, or the law of vibration and attraction. So let's talk about the law of cause and effect using the stick person graphic. So here you have the conscious mind. These are your thoughts. This is the thinking part of your mind, okay? So when you think something and we're conscious about what we're thinking, like right now we're thinking about the pink flower. Right now we're thinking about the blue car. You know, that's your conscious mind in action. This is where dreams are built. So let's talk about the Tesla that Guy and I want to buy, okay? That's the conscious mind. I see a projection of that Tesla X model in my mind that we've configured in the shop, okay? So now the subconscious mind, that's where the feelings come in. This is the emotional part of your mind, okay? And these two are connected. Whenever you think a thought in your conscious mind that you have a picture of, you automatically have a feeling to it. It's either a good feeling, knowing that, you know, you love this thing that you're thinking about. It's either already in your life and you don't really need to change your belief to know that it's there because it's already in your life, so you feel good about it. Or if it's something that you feel is still in the future, you feel bad about it because you think it's in the future. But it's not really in the future. Everything is here and now. And the sooner you get in alignment with your conscious mind, with that picture in your mind, whatever it is you're thinking about, and feel good about it with your subconscious mind. So these emotions are expressed to and through the body, and that's what causes the body to change its state of vibration. So as you feel good about looking at that new picture, your body changes the vibration. And this is what we call the cause. That's where you're sending out the vibration. Okay, so this is extremely important, the subconscious mind, because it is in control of what the body is sending out. So whatever it is that you send out, so as the vibration changes in the body, the action changes. Okay, we do things that we haven't done before, and therefore get results that we haven't gotten before, because when we change our actions, the universe reacts to that. Now, sometimes we've been doing a lot of action, the right kind of action when you look at it from the outside, but don't get the results. And the reason for that is because the image, we haven't changed the success image in our subconscious mind. And a lot of that has to do with our self-image about reaching that type of goal. So as we saw with AC, she just changed her subconscious programming about her self-image, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, which is not nowhere because it's not a coincidence, it is by law, things changed for her. The way she saw herself and the way everything on the outside world reacted to that change within her. So creation is really from the inside out. Okay, so you've heard this a lot of times before, but as you know, it's about repetition. We have been programmed. All the information, this is how our minds looked like when we were young. The ideas, the rules, the values, and the beliefs that we hold about ourselves and our world was given to us, was programmed to us by somebody else. And this is how our minds looked like when we were young. We were open to everything. We believed everything. And the paradigm is what's controlling us in the subconscious mind. And these were the programs that were given to us by our outside world, environmentally and genetically. So what we're doing right now, doing TIR, is changing the paradigm into whatever we want so that we take control of our lives and our results. So Bob says, when you impress an image upon the subconscious mind, that image dictates the results you are attracting into your life. Okay, let me read that again because I heard Aliza, so I got a little bit distracted. Again, so when you impress an image upon the subconscious mind, that image dictates the results you are attracting into your life. So here it is again. You have to put the new idea into the subconscious mind, and there are only two ways to do that. It's either an emotional impact, a lot of them are negative, like 9/11 or a death in a family, something like that. Or through constant spaced repetition. Now, the paradigm is going to tell you, oh, to hell with that. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to repeat it. I know that, but that's the paradigm trying to hold you back so that that paradigm can continue on living, because it knows exactly it's going to be replaced if you keep on impressing a new image into your subconscious mind. So the law of attraction actually responds to the subconscious programming. And that it's, again, I have to repeat, it's like that with everybody. Okay? So if somebody tells me something is not working, well, then you haven't impressed it into the subconscious mind yet. You just have to keep on going. That's all. Keep on studying, keep on repeating until one day you're going to wake up and you're in a completely different world. Because that's like the seed that you planted. A lot, for many, many days, depending on what plant it is. And a bamboo, for example, gets up to 5 years or something until you see something come out of the soil. But then that kind of bamboo, as soon as it gets out of the soil, it grows like about a meter a day. So, wow, that's amazing too. You just have to keep on going. That's all you got to do. So how do you know that at this very moment right now, while we're talking, you're moving in the direction of your goal? Can somebody answer that? This very moment. How do you know at this very moment you're moving in the direction of your goal?
I can share.
Yeah, go.
Because I feel good.
Yeah.
That is the key.
You want to jackpot.
Yeah, feel good.
I'm not just saying it. I wrote it before you said it. Yeah, fantastic, Danny. Exactly. So you just have to trust that when you're feeling good, because if you understand the stick person correctly and knowing that this is by law, it is a law, just as, you have to be assured that things are going to manifest for you just as sure as you are that it's going to get dark tonight. That's when you just, that's when it's going to manifest. And you know that you are vibrating correctly when you're feeling good. And that's just because you're feeling good. Even though the action you're doing right now, let's just say every week we talk about ice cream. Let's just say you're eating ice cream and you love ice cream, you're feeling good. Know that you are moving in the direction of your goal. Because it's not just you always moving towards it, it's also moving towards you. Things are happening that you don't see. As Kevin says, it's not on your radar screen, but it's happening. Okay, so know this. You are always thinking into results. Now, you can either do it consciously by choosing whatever it is you want, or by default. So by default would be your programming. And that programming, somebody else programmed it, right? So you can actually choose. But we are always thinking into results. So we might as well consciously think ourselves into our desired results to live the life that we want to live. So here again is a picture of an iceberg. Let this represent the conscious mind and the lower part, the subconscious. Now, who is in control of what? Whatever it is that you see, like your body or somebody else's body, or hear, or taste, or smell, or touch, is just the tip of the iceberg. There is something else controlling the whole thing, controlling the whole game. If you see somebody who's sick, you know that there's something deeper controlling the whole thing. If you see somebody who is happy, vital, and alive and just, flying through life, you know there's something deeper. You know what they're thinking. You just know that the thoughts that they're thinking most of the time are just, serving them. Okay, so why do we feel frustrated or stuck? Here, because we were taught in school to gather a lot of knowledge with the books and ideas, and we think we know something just because we can tell somebody about it, but that's not really knowing. That's not really learning. what we need to do to be able to say that we've learned something, we have to get that idea, whatever it is that we want, into the subconscious mind through repetition. So Rob, go ahead, write it down 100 times and feel it to change your paradigm. And when we get the desired results in the outside world, that's when we can say that we've got it in the subconscious mind and we've learned it, it's done. The C-type goal is now an A-type goal. It's something that we've done before. So Bob says that no amount of reading or memorizing will make you successful in life. So just because you read the participants guide 5 times, and if I gave you a test and asked you, okay, what does lesson 5 say? What are the mental faculties? And you just, you're able to say 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to make you successful in life. What you really need to do, it is the understanding, first of all, of what it is, and then the application of wise thought, which counts. That is what will change your life. And this is work, but this is the real work. This is the work that we should do. But then again, if you love studying, just like Angelique and Derek, well, actually a lot of people in this call, it's not really work because it's fun. Okay, Annie, I have another picture for you here. So just imagine this. This is what's in the subconscious mind. That's why it's taking longer than you want. So just plant a new seed, which you already have over here, and nurture that. Give it a lot of sunlight, give it a lot of, water, and just allow the universe to do its thing. Just like when a baby is planted into the stomach, I have no freaking idea how Elisa was made. I mean, you know what I mean. I know how she was conceived. No, anyway. But when I look at those teeny tiny toes and the teeny tiny fingers and fingernails, oh my God, I'm just thinking, wow, what an intelligence has created this. It knew exactly where the toes have to be. It knew exactly where the hair had to be, where the eyes had to be, the nose. The nose was not somewhere where the legs are supposed to be, it was there in the middle of the face, right? So we don't need to know the how. All we need to know is what did we plant into our subconscious mind? What do we keep on nourishing? Which thoughts do we keep on nourishing through our feelings and also through our actions? And what are we giving gratitude upon? Because as we learned last week, it is gratitude that connects us to power. So we do the affirmation, let's do the repetition, let's do the gratituding. And then we just have to know that, that plant is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. And if the other plant that has such deep roots, like this one here, it will just die out of lack of nourishment. Okay, let me check this chat box for a while if there's anything that, okay, cool. Alrighty, so if you have questions, let me know. Vibration is a natural law of the universe. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. We literally live in an ocean of motion. So what this really means is that every second, there is movement. Nothing is solid. Bob talks about even the walls not being solid. If you put it under a microscope, a microscope that can pick it up, the walls are moving. And what this means also is that because Kevin talks about how our thoughts, because we project them like a laser beam, we affect everything, even items, everything. I think I've told a story before that I had a friend who was getting a divorce, and all of a sudden, all of the appliances just, they were not working anymore because of the negative energy going on in that house. And I had that as well when I was getting a divorce with 2 items or something in the house. Like, oh, isn't that interesting? So what this also means, I will say it in another slide, the next slide. So everything happens in an orderly way. It's through attraction. You're attracting it through the image in your mind. So if you want to change the results of your body, how you look, or the bottom line of your financial statement, or your relationship with your sister. What you need to do is change the image in your mind of that particular thing, because everything happens in an orderly way, because there are laws. Everybody's governed by it. No one is an exception. It's through attraction. So it's the image you need to change. And that's why lesson 2 and 3 are also extremely powerful with this. If you write down how your life is right now and then change it to the opposite of how you want it to be, and then focus on that, that's how your life's going to change. So what is planted in the subconscious mind has to move into form. It has to. It just has to. And that's how you create a new paradigm. Again, understand this. Really, really understand this. What is planted in the subconscious mind? Now ask yourself, how do you plant something new into the subconscious mind? Study lesson 4. Study it over and over and over and over again until the secrets of that lesson are revealed to you. Because whatever is planted in the subconscious mind, and you're the only one who can plant new things into your subconscious mind or make it grow, it has to move into form. It is a law. It cannot not, because the subconscious mind cannot choose. It cannot accept or reject information. Whatever you give to it, it has to take. Just like a glass. You can put orange juice into it. You can put coffee into it. You can even put poison into it. It cannot choose. It just has to hold what you give it. Same with the subconscious mind. But with the conscious mind, you can choose what you, through repetition of thoughts, put into the subconscious mind. So you're in control. All right. So anybody have questions or comments?
How did you get to be so great, Hildy?
Ah, I love you. I just really love to study. I just love to study. I just love to study. I always have. I mean, these kinds of things, right? There are things I don't really care about, and I do not know anything about it. Don't ask me anything about politics. I have no freaking idea. But this thing I love.
Yay!
Yay!
I would like to share our win, Hildy, from sort of last week to yesterday, about this couple that we met in this amazing cafe just near Hyde Park, and we just randomly ran into her, and she wanted what we had, so livestock. She never sees her husband because he's working all the time and doesn't see see the little kids barely, because he's working. He leaves at 7, comes home at 7 o'clock, and then when we met up with them for breakfast yesterday at Urbane. This couple, and because we thought, we'd really love to work with couples and really fun people as well. And we met her husband. He was such a nice guy. He's into adventure and outdoors like me. She's into nice hotels and luxury like Hildy loves. And of course, I love that sort of thing as well. But it was just sort of very much what they focused on. They really want to travel more. But they met on Facebook. They moved in together really quickly. They got married really quickly. I mean, there was so many synchronicities there. It was just phenomenal, wasn't it, Hildy?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, yeah. Because we planted a new picture into our subconscious mind. We said we want to be working now with couples that have kids as well, more or less the age of Lisa, so that while we're doing the business part, we can take Lisa with us, and they have playmates. And since when you're in network marketing, the ideal is that, because it's a relationship, the ideal is that it's a relationship for life. Of course, you want to be with people that you love and you have fun with, right? So I have this vision in my mind that Eliza is growing up with such amazing aunties and uncles. Well, we've got Yarek, Mariam, Gabriella, and oh my God, like it is an extended family. So yeah, so we planted that picture into our subconscious minds, and now it's happening. That was really, it's fun. It's fun to watch how you change the story of your life on paper, decide on it, and just allow the universe to bring it. And it does not matter what it is.
Yep.
So that was fun.
Hildy, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Hi. Now I'm starting the TIR. When I was listening to the call on Saturday with the secret call thing that we were listening to, I think it was Sandy Gallagher said that to follow the program as it's all laid out. Now, when I watched the lessons over on Saturday and Sunday, there was quite a lot of little hints and there was little suggestions like one, watch your candle to help you concentrate. Put a black dot on the wall and again look at it, it helps you concentrate. And if there's negative things in your life, like to write it down and burn it. Am I okay to still use that, or do we have to wait till I get to that lesson to use them?
Well, if it resonates with you and it excites you now, then just do it.
Right. Okay.
I mean, the more time you can put into it, the better. But just make sure, there is a reason why it is structured that way from 1 to 12. So one builds up the other. Like, for example, if lesson 1 wasn't there to set a goal, like, what are you aiming for if you didn't have that goal, right? If you say, yeah. So there is sense behind the, the lessons of how they're building up.
It was just like that. Bob said, get a candle and light the candle and focus on it. And he says you can't. You'll be able to concentrate. You'll lose it and then go back to it. I've just said I know I'm not going to jump the lessons, but for that little bit out of that lesson, can I use that from the beginning? Yeah,
sure.
It doesn't change anything, does it?
Yeah. Well, the rule of thumb is if you're excited about it, do it.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Right? Because, I tell myself, you know what? Who knows if I'm still alive in this body? I'll always be alive because we'll always exist in one form or another. But who knows how long I'll be in this body? So, am I really living the life, the moments, the way I want to live it? Because some people can have short lives and have really lived it, and some people can have long lives, like they were sick all their lives. Like, I'd rather have a short life, having lived the life I wanted to live with, full of excitement and happiness and feeling good, right? So just feel as good as you can and follow your excitement, definitely. And the more excited you are, about something, the more it's right for you.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you so much, Hildy. We love you.
Love you.
Love you all.
Thanks a lot.
Love you all.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ta-da!
Bye.
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 Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.